Go right down to the wire.
Out of my screen. Thank you.
Again, Ashley. No, no out. No out. Ashley, down.
Hey, turn around.
Oh gosh, we can chill. Can I go? We're gonna be on TV. Come on, go.
Andrew.
He swung your hand right off.
Come on, ball. Come on.
Can you come over after? No, I can't. Kevin, we're number 1.
Took the lens. Go.
Come on, Davey. Our turn now. Ciao.
Go, Mark. Shoot. Well, Mark, off the side.
Peace, madam.
You hesitate, they're going to take the ball.
Beautiful. Okay.
From Coronado Tidelands Park, it's County Cup Soccer, the boys under 10 recreational play. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mike Benson for George Langevin Productions, and this afternoon it's a consolation match between the La Jolla Sluggos and the Peninsula Eagles. The Sluggos are coached by Alex Johnson along with Carlos Batanzo Sr. The Eagles are coached by Manuel De Rosa and Florencio Vieira. The Sluggos come into this afternoon's game with an overall record of 13-3, actually 11-1 in the regular season. The Eagles come into this afternoon's matchup with a regular season record of 12-1, so both records very comparable. Let's quickly take a look at the starting lineups as we are about to get underway here. For the Sluggos, at center forward, we'll have Pete Holland, and flanking him is Ryan Ferguson and Carlos Batanzo. Taking a look at the midfielders in the middle, we'll see Alfonso Polito Jr., and he works up front as well, Ryan Broomberg and Andrew Madalena. And we'll very quickly take a look at the defensive end. We'll see Blake Walker, Josh Salick, Tyler Seckman, Henrik Borgstrom, Scott Lacaze, and Matthew Sullivan. All the players will have an opportunity to play, and rounding out the starting lineup for the Sluggos, in the net is John Mandel. Let's take a look at the Peninsula Eagles. Up front, and I spoke with Coach Manuel De Rosa, he'll play a variety of players, and up front we'll see Johnny Reese, Kevin Suarez, Mark Morera, Paulo De Rosa, Ruben Gomez. And let's take a look at the midfielders for the Eagles. Danny Silva will be playing at the midfield position, and flanking him will be Chris Reese and Johnny Chrissy. And the defensive end to line out the lineup for the Eagles, we'll see Brian Esterly. Joey Silva will be in the sweeper position. We'll see Jonathan Zalay, Mario Gomez, Travis Plutt, and Ryan Kelly. And in the box for the Eagles, we'll see Ivan Dolganis. The center referee will be Lynn Huffman, and the linesman Laura Szymanski and her father Andy Szymanski. We'll be back in a moment for the opening kick.
Bunch up, you guys. Move to your left. Move to your left.
We are just about ready to get underway here, and the boys under 10 recreational play. The first possession will go to the La Jolla Sluggos. They'll be wearing the blue jerseys, black shorts, and long black socks going left to right on our video dial. And the Peninsula Eagles wearing the green shirts, white shorts, and the long green socks going right to left on our video dial. You can see the center referee in the middle about to get things underway. That's Lynn Huffman. You saw the players go out to the middle of the field, handled very, very professionally as they look to both sides of the spectators. And a lot of fan support out here today. A lot of the parents coming out and watching their youngsters play. The officials, of course, just taking a moment to speak with one another and get everything situated. The sun trying to break from the clouds here on kind of a chilly, breezy day. If the sun can stay out, it makes for a very comfortable day. But either way, a great day for soccer. And we are underway. The Sluggos getting things started. They work along the right side and marked and tackled momentarily by the Eagles. And taking it upfield is Ruben Gomez. And of course, we'll take a quick look while the ball is just outside the penalty arc at the games played previous to today. The Sluggos, of course, beating the Mesa Terminators by a score of 3-1. Then were beaten by the Sharks by a score of 4-2. Came back with a victory over the Super Soccers 2-1, and then lost in a heartbreaker against the Escondido Blitz in the last 10 seconds of the game. And that, of course, is what brings them to this consolation game against the Eagles. The Eagles losing a heartbreaker of their own as the score was tied 3-3, and they actually lost on the penalty kicks in their last game. So both teams actually losing in the closing moments of the ball game. So an exciting consolation match coming your way. Johnny Chrissy handling the throw-in, working on the offensive end with Kevin Suarez. And the kick downfield there by Jonathan Zalay. So the Sluggos working one-on-one there was John Salick. You can see him trying to get the ball up across the halfway line for the Sluggos as the Sluggos hustle over. As the ball crosses the touchline here on the near side, will stay in possession of the Sluggos. That's Alfonso Polito Jr. will handle the toss in. And the header by Johnny Chrissy, keeping the ball, of course, in possession of the Sluggos. You can see the parents waving at the cameras. And that, of course, the father of Ryan Broomberg. Ryan playing an integral part on the defensive end in the first game. So the Sluggos have the ball in the goal area and a possible shot on goal. Can they squeeze it through? No, the goalie, Ivan Doganas, comes up with the save there. So the Sluggos threatening here in the early moments of the ball game. That's Kevin Suarez, willing and dealing on the offensive end, showing good control. The ball just got away from him, so it should result in a Sluggo possession, and that will be the call. And actually, they changed it up, so apparently the ball did get away from Suarez. It went off the foot of a Sluggo. As you can see, Andrew Madalena hustling over, looking for that centering pass inside, gets it out to the left side, and Pete Holland, the center forward, may very well have found himself just in front of the defender, and an offsides will incur. So the first part of the ball game, each respective team will just feel one another out and work on one-touch passes, basic fundamentals, just working the ball around the field. A strong kick downfield, and Suarez passes out to the outside to Chris Reese. The Sluggos defending. can see Paulo DeRosa controlling with Kevin Suarez, and hustling back on the defensive end is Scott Lacaze as he gives way to John Mandel, who will handle the net for the Sluggos. The header there by Ruben Gomez, and another header.
Okay, Ferguson.
So the Eagles showing that they are good in the air here in the early going. The header by the Sluggos, that was Carlos Batanzo, as Madalena gets free on the left side, and the nice defensive play there by Mario Gomez, getting the job done in the last second there. Sluggos attempt to get it back into the goal area, and Ivan Dolganos does a nice job coming out of the box to make the play. Danny Silva controlling, being marked and tackled by Ryan Ferguson. And Ryan, it appears, will give way to Alfonso Polito. And it appeared that Carlos Batanzo got ahead of the defense for the offsides. So Polito with the strong kick downfield. And Carlos Batanzo with his second consecutive offsides. And you can't fault him for that, just trying to be aggressive, trying to get out as quickly as he possibly can in front of the defenders. If you can do that, the one-on-one against the goalie generally will prevail, and the offense usually ends up being the victor. So the Eagles coming up with a free kick here. That's the goalie, Ivan Dolganos, who will punt it away. Gets it up towards the halfway line, so an effective punt. As Paulo DeRosa controlling at the halfway line, gets it back out. And defended there by the Sluggos, Blake Walker on the defensive end. Johnny Chrissy making contact there with Alfonso Polito. And Alfonso will step back, waste no time, kicking it away here on the free kick. Gets it up to Ryan Ferguson. And the Sluggos will look to get the ball back on their offensive end, and the header upfield there. And working up is Pete Holland. Pete attempting the centering pass, finally broken up by the defense of the Eagles. Ferguson trying to keep control, working one-on-two, squeezes it right through the defenders. The centering pass inside, attempted to go into Carlos Batanzo. Strong kick upfield by Blake Walker. Of course, kicked across the touchline by Ruben Gomez. And once again off of Gomez's foot, so the Sluggos, of course, retaining possession on the far end near side. Big, strong kick down towards the goal. And Dolganos coming out of the box to make a great play, but a fine effort by Blake Walker, who kicked that one from well outside the penalty arc. So a gallant attempt by Walker, of course, to no avail. Still no score here as we are early into the first half of play.
Yeah, a little. Let him bring them.
We may have a substitution coming in here. You can hear the coach, Alex Johnson, signaling to the official that he would like to bring a player in. And it appears to be Ryan Broomberg coming into the lineup. And Ryan will go in place of Josh Salick. So again, look to see all the players get action today, as the coaches want to keep them fresh so they can go 100% each and every second that they're out on the field. The winner, of course, in this match will finish third place in the boys under 10 recreational play. For the Sluggos with the toss in. Paulo DeRosa controlling on the right side. Gets up to Gomez as Ferguson hustles back on the defensive end. Gomez working and marked and tackled by Ryan Ferguson, doing a nice job on the defensive end, and gets it up across the halfway line, and hustling up to control was Carlos Batanzo, doing a nice job as he sensed the ball get free at the halfway line. Batanzo works it up the right, passes it up to no awaiting teammate. So Joey Silva gives way to Ivan Doganis, the goalie. And that ball just hitting off the body of Ryan Ferguson. Hustling across the halfway line is Ruben Gomez, who goes by Matthew Sullivan. Gomez, dribbling well, was marked and finally tackled there by the Sluggos. Gomez passes upfield to Danny Silva. Work on that left side, attempting a centering pass, was not able to completely control it. And it appears to result in a possession going back in favor of the Sluggos. Actually make that a corner kick, as you can see Danny Silva hustling over to attempt the corner kick for the Eagles. You can see all the players dropping back in their respective positions. And then, of course, just going inside the net will result in a goal kick for the Sluggos. So we're about halfway through the first half of play here on what's turning out to be a beautiful day at Coronado Tidelands Park. Still no score in a match that may go down to the wire here. It's Andrew Madalena, gets it across and up towards the halfway line, finally marked there by Mario Gomez. And the contact, of course, goes against the Sluggos. So the scenario so far is when one team threatens on the offensive end, the defensive unit gets the job done. The header there by Johnny Chrissy. Ruben Gomez controlling for the Eagles. Marked momentarily there by Carlos Batanzo. I tell you, the Sluggos coming off of a phenomenal defensive game against the Escondido Blitz, actually held them scoreless into the last 10 seconds of the game, and the Blitz had what appeared to be 15 or so attempts on goal. So a credit to their strong defensive unit, as Suarez, controlling on the outside, attempts the centering pass, broken up nicely by the Sluggos in that goal area. Ryan Ferguson, marked by Mario Gomez. Suarez passes upfield, and controlling is Ruben Gomez. Paula DeRosa working on that offensive end as well. You can see the Sluggos working in there in the pilot, just trying to come away with it, and finally the ball is batted back towards the halfway line. So just going back and forth here. No one team really threatening here in the last few minutes on the offensive end. And the nice pass upfield, and Pete Holland getting free. He may have a one-on-one against the goalie, gets free, and the shot, and squeezes it through. La Jolla Sluggos go out in front by a score of 1-0. So Pete Holland, who showed great speed getting free to the outside, had one guy to beat. When he beat him, the goalie came up, and when he did, that allowed Pete Holland to squeeze the goal right past him. La Jolla Sluggos 1, the Peninsula Eagles 0. So the Eagles going right to left here on our video dial. They'll try to get themselves right back into this ball game. Suarez working on the offensive end and hustling up the center defender for the Sluggos. An attempt to keep the ball up towards the halfway line. That's Ryan Broomberg. And A lot of contact going on here at the halfway line, resulting in a La Jolla possession. That's Alfonso Polito. He generally handles those free kicks, and a nice kick upfield. Belted right back, and Alfonso comes back, and a nice pass to Carlos Batanzo. Batanzo on the right side, and a nice defensive play there, as Batanzo, of course, found himself a little too far beyond the goal line to get a nice, accurate shot on goal. A great second effort on his part, but a nice defensive play by the Eagles. Right. So Ivan Delganos, the goalie, will sit the ball down to attempt the goal kick. Ivan's father, we understand, was actually on the Russian Olympic team for water polo, so athletics really running in the family there. Strong kick towards the goal area as Delganos hustles up out of the box. And a good thing he did, as you saw Pete Holland hustling up to try to get a possible shot on goal before Delganos could hustle up. Players tripping one another there. This morning the fields were a bit wet and slippery, but because of the sun coming out, the field has dried considerably compared to this morning's game. So the players should have a lot better traction. Gomez working against Broomberg, and Ryan doing a nice job. Of course, the ball going back in favor of the Eagles. So the ball just working back and forth amongst each team here at the halfway line. A nice job there by Alfonso Polito, who works it out to Ryan Ferguson, who attempted a sliding cross, and the shot, and a nice attempt there by Carlos Batanzo, just off to the left. Had his foot on that one real well, just a little bit off target. So the Sluggos getting more shots on goal so far here than the Eagles as we near the second part of the first half of play. The throw-in coming in by the Sluggos.
Hey, wake up!
And here come the Eagles, about to cross the halfway line here. Suarez works upfield to Gomez. And finally, Matthew Sullivan coming up with a nice defensive play for the Sluggos.
Go down!
So Sullivan and Henrik Borgstrom
Man open over here on the left.
getting the job done on the defensive end here in the early going. A strong kick downfield there. That one outside to Chris Reese. You could see him wanting to attempt a cross inside, but the ball, of course, just getting away from him. Substitutions about to come in here for the Sluggos. Tyler Seckman will come into the lineup. And he'll replace Ryan Broomberg. The Eagles working it. That's good ball control by Danny Silva, and the shot, but the save by John Mandel. Andrew Madalena works it up. Finally marked by a few different opponents. The sliding pass there attempted by Johnny Chrissy. Sluggos, of course, coming away with it as they work it back upfield. And hustling over here on the near side goes Ryan Ferguson, and tackled there by Danny Silva. Ryan with another opportunity here, and once again marked by the hustling Danny Silva. So Alfonso Polito gives way to Henrik Borgstrom.
Nice try, Fergie. Nice try. Look good anyway.
And of course, the ball not staying in the field of play, of course, will go in possession of Johnny Chrissy and the Eagles. Sluggos tackling there. Nice defensive play by Alfonso Polito, who works it upfield on a nice pass to Carlos Batanzo, who tries to cross inside and defended very, very well by Joey Silva of the Eagles. The attempted header there by the Eagles, but to no avail, and Holland trying to control. The Eagles looking to break it across the halfway line. You can see Johnny Chrissy working it up, along with Ruben Gomez.
Hey, John, come out of the goal.
And coming over to make the nice play was Scott Lacaze, as John Mandel was just trying to play it safe by staying right in the goal area. Didn't feel it was in his best interest to come out of the box, and of course, Lacaze coming over and getting the job done defensively. So it will result in a corner kick coming up for the Eagles. Danny Silva bangs it away. Ryan Ferguson taking it upfield. So the score are the Sluggos 1 and the Eagles 0. The header by Silva. Strong kick downfield by Alfonso Polito. And that ball just trickling across the touchline here on the near side. Will go in possession of the Eagles. Nice play by Batanzo. Alfonso Polito working along with Pete Holland on the offensive end as Johnny Chrissy hustles back to make the tackle. Polito, centering pass inside to Batanzo, and the goalie making a great play as the ball got free of Batanzo. And of course, Ivan Delgadas had to come out of the box, and he actually tripped, and the ball got away from him. And then was able to redeem himself and kick it away. So a nice second effort there by Delgadas.
Spread out.
The Sluggos were almost looking at a 2-0 lead. Delgadas with the goal kick. Ryan Ferguson hustling over. And the shot on goal, scored through for Carlos Batanzo. That ball just ricocheting off of one of the defenders of the Eagles, and Carlos Batanzo just finding himself in the right place at the right time. Number 6, you saw him there. The ball ricocheted off the defender. He just shoots it right through with his right foot, just off to the left side of the goal. There's no way that Delgados could redeem himself. So 2-0, the Sluggos out in front of the Eagles. Kevin Suarez, the center forward, about to get things started here for the Eagles. You can see Ruben Gomez to his left. Decides to go back out to the right and then back to Johnny Chrissy. Pete Holland gets it upfield to Blake Walker. And Holland with the bicycle kick. The header by Andrew Madalena. And upfield, and of course, allowing plenty of time for Delgadas to come out of the box.
Free kick. That's right.
Carlos!
Penalty kick. Goalkeeper can't hold the ball, drop it, and pick it back up.
So a penalty kick will be the result here. And the attempt will be by Carlos Batanzo, but he can't squeeze it through. A lot of action there right in the goal area.
Good play. Good Andrew.
So the Eagles getting a break there, able to get the ball back in their possession. As the goalie, Ivan Delgadas, of course, was penalized. That, of course, resulting in the penalty kick. Put the ball down and picked it back up, which he cannot do. So the hustling Ruben Gomez looking to pass in the awaiting foot of Johnny Reese. But Reese just not able to get there quick enough. And Reese on the far side will handle the throw-in for the Eagles. And hustling over on the defensive end was Andrew Madalena. And that ball, of course, kicked downfield by Ryan Kelly. Crosses the touchline. So that will do it. The close of the first half of play here in the boys under 10 recreational play. The La Jolla Sluggos 2, the Peninsula Eagles 0. I'm Mike Benson for Georgia Langevin Productions. We'll be back in a moment for an exciting second half of play.
You gotta take the ball, give it to Carlos, and then run ahead of him, and then he'll give you the ball back. All right? Okay, you guys are doing great. Let's keep it up. Okay?
Hi. Bye. Peace.
We are just about to get underway here in the second half of play. The Eagles will have the first possession. They'll go left to right on our video dial here. Of course, the Eagles wearing the green shirts, white shorts, and long green socks. The Sluggos off to a great start, are out in front 2-0. A quick summary here of the scoring. Pete Holland getting free about halfway through the first half of play. Had one defender to beat, got by him, which actually forced the goalie to come out of the box, and that allowed Holland to just trickle it to the left of the goalie for the first score. And then, of course, Carlos Batanzo coming away with the second goal on a play in which the ball basically ricocheted off of a defender's body, and Carlos got himself in the right position to shoot it through for the second score of the ball game. So that's where we stand, 2-0 here, as we are about to get started in the second half of play here at Coronado Tidelands Park. And Lynn Huffman, center referee, says, let's get it started. The Eagles, that's Holland marking and tackling, along with Blake Walker on the far side. Ryan Ferguson working on the offensive end as well. So you can see a lot of the fan support on both sides of the field. A lot of the parents coming out and watching all of their kids play. The word fan being derived from the word fanatic, because of course this sport of soccer originating in Europe, the spectators are so fanatical about the game of soccer that that's actually where they derived the word fan from. And of course, the way that the game of football, of course known in Europe as football, became soccer is because of the British Football Association. The abbreviation of association, ASSOC, is where they derived the word soccer from. So a little history for you there. As you can see, the Eagles working on the far side. That was Henrik Borgstrom coming up to make the play defensively. So the Eagles looking for a possible shot on goal, but To no one's surprise, the Sluggos do their job on the defensive end, and a nice kick upfield as Batanzo tries to control, along with Andrew Madalena. Carlos working one-on-one there against Travis Plutt. And finally, of course, the Eagles able to come away with it. Alfonso Polito just trying to keep the ball in possession of his team. And of course, some contact was there, and you can see Alfonso Polito holding his forehead there. He might have taken a little hit to the head area, but of course the coach asked him if he's okay, and he appears to want to stay in the ball game. So Alfonso Polito, one of the spunky players for the Sluggos. The header by Andrew Madalena. The header back-to-back there by Blake Walker. Kevin Suarez, the little guy, dribbling at a nice one-touch pass out to Gomez. And finally, Henrik Borgstrom trying to come up with a defensive play as Gomez is trying to keep it alive for the Eagles. And a nice defensive play by Scott Lacaze coming over in the last possible second. The ball will stay in possession of the Sluggos on the far side. That was Danny Silva just trying to control for the Eagles, but the ball got away from him. And it appears that a substitution will go in. Ryan Broomberg, it appears, will go into the lineup for the Sluggos. And Tyler Seckman taking a break for La Jolla. Gomez working against Sullivan, and Matthew doing a nice job there to keep the ball in front of him. Andrew Madalena attempting to get the ball back up towards the half of his team. Gomez, who just traps it in order to control, and finally does just that. The centering pass inside to Danny Silva. The ball just getting away from his foot, and of course, John Mandel coming up with the easy play out of the box. Mario Gomez working along with three other teammates on the far side of the halfway line. And here come the Eagles. And nice play defensively, Blake Walker. And the shot possibly just off to the left there, and a nice defensive play by Matthew Sullivan. Able to come up with the tackle there on the attempted shot on goal by Chris Reese. So the Sluggos maintain a 2-0 lead here as we are nearing the halfway mark of the second half of play. And the big, strong kick up towards the goal. Of course, the Sluggos having enough time as the kick was high to make the play defensively. Paulo DeRosa, tackled by the Sluggos. And you can see Jonathan Zalay trying to hustle over to keep the ball in possession of the Eagles. But the ball moving a bit faster than he was. Alfonso Polito on the far side. And Andrew Madalena trying to control as the ball comes up to the halfway line. And here comes Escondido. Paulo DeRosa attempting the cross. Broken up by Blake Walker. Alfonso Polito, the player that handles most of the throw-ins because he has that good height. And here comes the possible shot, and it does squeeze through there by Pete Holland. So Pete, with his second goal of the ball game, was able to get that ball out and push it beyond the defender, and then showed good speed to get his left foot on the ball for the third goal of the ball game. The La Jolla Sluggos 3, the Peninsula Eagles 0. So the Eagles will have their work cut out for them to get back into this ball game. They trail by 3 as we're at the halfway mark of the second half of play. Carlos Batanzo. As the ball ricochets back to him, with his left foot he gets it up towards the halfway line. The Eagles trying real hard to come up with a possession here.
Should we bring the defense up? Like they're doing? Get everybody up here and this the long guy going up? One up? No? A little bit up? Go for it. 2 of them.
Alfonso Polito felt that his team had the possession, but in fact will go in possession of the Eagles. And a strong pass upfield to Gomez, and Suarez controlling on that left side. Suarez back to Gomez, and hustling over on the defensive end was Borgstrom. Also Ryan Ferguson on the defensive end as well. Suarez, the spunky little guy for the Eagles, trying to keep the ball down in the goal area as Paulo De Rosa controls on the right side, centering pass. And Silva looking for a possible shot on goal, and broken up once again by the strong defense of the Sluggos. Holland with a nice pass upfield to Blake Walker. Holland looking to get free once again. And Pete Holland will have another shot on goal here and kicks it up, and his third goal of the ball game. So the La Jolla Sluggos go well out in front by a score of 4-0 over the Eagles. So Pete Holland of La Jolla having himself a great game. All 3 of his goals coming unassisted, so that's a credit to his hustle on the offensive end, just getting the ball beyond the defenders, then hustling down to try to create the goalie having to come out of the box. So Andrew Madalena will take a break, and Josh Salick back into the lineup for La Jolla. So Alex Johnson and Carlos Batanzo Sr. just getting all the players into the action. Matthew Sullivan hustling over on the defensive end as the ball does stay in play. The attempted centering pass broken up momentarily by Henrik Borgstrom. Should result in a corner kick coming up here for the Eagles.
Blues, look around, take a green. Blues, take a green.
So in this age bracket, a lot of the scoring comes on corner kicks, where the players have an opportunity to either head the ball in or kick it through. Or, of course, the defensive unit able to come away with a defensive play as well. So it will be interesting to see what happens as Silva attempts the kick a little too far inside, so it will result in a goal kick for the Sluggos. So a quick summary here of the scoring. Pete Holland getting the first goal of the ball game, and then Carlos Batanzo with the second in the first half, and then Pete Holland comes with his third and fourth goal respectively in the second half of play. So we stand at 4-0. The Sluggos way out in front of the Eagles here. So you saw Alfonso Polito with the throw-in. course, the violation going against the Eagles, resulting in the free kick for Alfonso. Kevin Suarez upfield. And broken up there by the defense. That was Alfonso Polito on the defensive end. Of course, the accidental contact there made by Ryan Broomberg, but of course the official had to make the call. That was against Johnny Reese. So the Eagles trying to get the ball in the goal area. Ryan Broomberg coming away with it, along with Ryan Ferguson. And the sliding tackle there by Ryan Ferguson, doing a great job on the defensive end. A sliding tackle, was able to come up with it and keep it in possession of his team. Ryan with a nice centering pass up to Pete Holland. And a timeout, an injury timeout it will be, as one of the players goes down for the Sluggos. So with the injury timeout, we'll take a break here. The Sluggos 4, the Eagles 0. So Carlos Batanzo, the player injured, and you can see the coach Alex Johnson helping him off the field, and Andrew Madalena will go in to replace him. You can see Carlos just kind of holding his backside, and all the parents showing their appreciation for the fine game that Carlos has played, of course responsible for one of the goals in the ball game this afternoon. So hopefully he'll be okay and back into action here shortly.
You want a chair?
So the Eagles, little Kevin Suarez, looking to pass inside, only to be broken up by the defense of the Sluggos. The Eagles working on the right side. That's Silva with the shot towards the goal, and on the one hopper, Mandel able to make the play. And here comes Ryan Ferguson, working one-on-one on the far side against Jonathan Zalay. The Eagles taking it across the halfway line. Paulo DeRosa being marked and tackled there by Pete Holland, who takes it up across the halfway line. The ball gets away from him and crosses the touch line. And you can see all of the parents and spectators here on the near side supporting the La Jolla Sluggos. The athletes today on the field have to feel real great about the support that they're getting from the moms and dads out here, other relatives and friends. Always makes for a fun-filled atmosphere. Paulo DeRosa and Blake Walker coming up with the play. Gets free, centering pass, gets outside to Andrew Madalena, and Ryan Ferguson on the right side as well. Gomez hustling over, and Pete Holland. A nice play by Pete Holland, just with a sliding tackle on the far side as to not allow any type of offensive surges by Ruben Gomez. The La Jolla Sluggos well out in front, 4-0 over the Eagles. And you can see the beautiful Coronado Bridge in the background. One of the more scenic areas here in San Diego, California. A beautiful afternoon for soccer. So Tyler Seckman will come into the lineup for La Jolla, and Scott Lacaze will take a rest. So the Sluggos will just do their best just to keep the ball around the halfway line and in their offensive territory, to not allow any type of attempted comeback by the Eagles. You can see Carlos Batanzo here on the sideline. Carlos may very well not have to come back into the game. He is an integral part of this team on the offensive end, but with a 4-0 lead, Carlos may very well just spectate the rest of the game. Sit back and enjoy the rest of his teammates' play. It was Ryan Broomberg working there on the defensive end, marking and tackling for his team. And of course, the Sluggos will come away with the possession here. So Alfonso Polito, you can see the linesman, Laura Samansky, coming over and speaking with him. Alfonso takes it upfield and it actually ricochets right back to him as the reverse kick upfield. And a strong kick for the Eagles downfield. And of course, the Sluggos with plenty of time to defend. Gomez attempting a left-footed shot. Paulo DeRosa working in there on the offensive end. And the shot, possibly, yes, and squeezes it through. Kevin Suarez, the spunky little wingman for the Eagles, comes through with a nice little goal. So the score, the La Jolla Sluggos 4, the Peninsula Eagles 1. So a good heads-up play there by Kevin Suarez, who found himself kind of in a pile, but he's so little in height, actually might have allowed him to squeeze through without the Sluggos even noticing. Got off to the left and finally made a couple nice moves and sweeped it through with his left foot. Oh, and I tell you, it appeared to be accidental contact there by Alfonso Polito, but just basically sweeped Johnny Chrissy up into the air, and he seemed to have taken a pretty good fall there. Hopefully he'll be okay. The La Jolla Sluggos 4, the Eagles 1. So you could see one of the parents there carrying Johnny Chrissy off of the field. He really took a good fall there, came right down on his back. So as we continue play, the Eagles looking to threaten once again here on the offensive end. Gomez working against Sullivan. And Sullivan, one of the bigger players on the field, able to keep Gomez in front of him. So once again doing the job on the defensive end. So the corner kick about to come in here for the Eagles. You can see all of the Sluggos backing up in their respective defensive positions. And the shot just off to the right there by Chris Reese of the Eagles. So it appears to be Carlos Batanzo who will come back into the lineup, and Alfonso Polito comes out of the lineup to a nice applause here. Alfonso, of course, showing a lot of hustle on both ends of the field. So Carlos Batanzo, we thought may very well be finished for the afternoon, is back into the lineup. And wastes no time surging down in the offensive end, only to be broken up by Joey Silva of the Eagles. So that's good news for the Sluggos. Carlos Batanzo appearing to be okay. Holland attempting to get into Batanzo. Ryan Broomberg working on the offensive end as well. Oh, and a lot of contact there, but no call, and a good one. Gomez working down as Ryan Broomberg hustles down on the defensive end as well. Paulo DeRosa attempting to control on the offensive end as Henrik Borgstrom gets back defensively.
You should still change positions with me.
So the Sluggos, of course, just let that one trickle across the touchline. So they can, in fact, retain possession. The header there by Ruben Gomez.
Go, Blues, turn around, watch the ball, let's go, spread out. Blues, take a green.
4-1, the Sluggos well out in front. And the defense doing a nice job there to get the ball out of the goal area. The Eagles in this last 5 minutes of play have got the ball down in the goal area at least 3 times. And it appears to be another player shaken up on the far side, so an aggressive match all afternoon. A lot of contact being made on both sides of the ball. All the credit to the hustle of all the players on each respective team.
Go, Blues, let's go. Tyler, wake up.
Ryan Ferguson handling the throw-in in place of Alfonso Polito, who generally handles the overthrows for the Sluggos. There's Andrew Madalena. Gets down to Holland, and Holland trying to break free once again. Was looking for his 4th goal of the ball game. Already has the hat trick. And that will do it. As the match comes to a close here at Coronado Tidelands Park. The final score, the La Jolla Sluggos 4, the Peninsula Eagles 1. I'm Mike Benson for George Langevin Productions. We'll be back in a moment for some post-game interviews.
Good job, guys. Good job.
All right, we're back for the post-game show here, and what turned out to be a tremendous victory for the Sluggos over the Eagles. I'm Mike Benson for George Langevin Productions. Let's find out about all the players that made this win possible. We'll start with your name and what position you played.
My name's Ryan Ferguson, and I play right wing.
Okay, Ryan called your name out a lot in the broadcast. We're playing good on both ends of the ball. Talk to me about a favorite play in this game that stands out in your mind.
Well, I like when Carlos got hit and he recovered.
Okay. Well, let's talk about you. I mean, I know you're an unselfish player, and you don't want to talk about yourself, but you made a lot of nice plays. So what was your favorite in today's game?
Well, usually when I center it up to Carlos.
Exactly. And you make good plays doing that. Think back on the whole season. I'm going to ask all your teammates. You guys have had a great season. Think about one game that stands out in your mind on the whole season, and what was your favorite game?
Well, let's see. Oh yeah, the very first game we played, it was just a practice one.
Okay.
But we all beat them 9-6 or something.
Okay, so you had a lot of good team chemistry. Okay. What about other sports for you? When soccer's over, you going to play some other sports?
Baseball.
What position do you play?
Well, I usually play catcher or second base.
Great. You have a good arm like Benito Santiago?
Yeah.
Okay. How you doing in school?
Good.
Okay. All right. Well, keep doing well in school and keep playing ball. Thanks for joining us. All right. We'll just keep it rolling. We'll talk to all. All right. We'll get your name, what position you played.
My name is Scott, and I play a left fullback.
Okay. Talking to all of your teammates, I'm going to ask you your favorite play in today's game. Start with that. What was the play you feel good about today?
Well, when there were lots of Eagles and some of us back there, there was one guy with the ball on the Eagles, and everyone else was just asleep. And so I came up and took the ball away from him.
Exactly. You guys did that a lot in both games today. You guys have a tremendous defense. Have to feel real great about that. A favorite game on the whole year for you? What game sticks out in your mind, aside from this one, on the year?
Well, I got drafted to this team for the County Cup, and I played on the San Diego, the La Jolla Sockers. And my favorite game was probably our only winning game. So our team wasn't that good.
Great, okay. Was it kind of a tough adjustment for you to make going from one team to the other kind of last minute? I mean, how did you make that adjustment, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Feel good about all your new teammates?
Yep.
Okay. What about you? What are you going to do after soccer's over? Because you guys are all good athletes. I'm sure you're going to play another sport.
I'm going to play baseball.
Okay. What position do you play in baseball?
I'm going to try and play pitcher.
Beautiful. Okay. How about hitting? Do you like to hit as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. You like to hit for power or just average? What's your strategy at the plate?
Average.
Try to hit for average. Good. Okay. How are you doing in school?
Good.
What's your favorite class?
Mrs. Patton.
Okay. What about a subject that you really enjoy? Math, English, social studies. What's your favorite?
Math.
Okay. How far along are you in math right now?
Times.
Times. Great. Okay. Good. Okay. Well, keep doing well in school because that's important and keep playing ball. Thanks for joining us. You take it easy. All right. We'll get your name and what position you play today.
I'm Alfonso Polito, and I played right midfielder.
Okay. Talk to me, Alfonso, first of all, about today's game, then we'll talk about some others. Is there a part in today's game that you feel kind of good about because of a play that you made? Talk to us about that.
Yeah. It's when I stopped the ball for Peter to take down.
Good. You played an excellent game. I noticed that they use you a lot to handle the throw-in because you have good height and you can really wing it towards your teammates. Does it make you feel good that they chose you to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to me about your favorite game on the whole season aside from today's game. What was your favorite game?
Oh, I don't really have one. I like all of them.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me because you're a good athlete and you're running up and down on both sides of the ball and play real well. Now, since you're a good athlete, do you use your athletic ability for other sports as well?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Baseball.
What's your favorite position in baseball?
Shortstop.
Good, okay. And how do you hit?
Oh, average.
Good, okay. Do you have players when you watch on TV that you idolize?
Not really.
Are you probably your own favorite athlete?
No.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Alfonso, when you're not playing sports and you want to just do some things at home for quiet time and hobbies, what do you enjoy doing?
Oh, I like making airplanes and throwing them in the house.
Yeah? Talk to me about the most creative airplane you've ever made.
I don't know which one it would be. I just make some up and fly them, just for fun.
Good. That's good. So you have a little creative side to you as well. How are you doing in school?
Oh, fine.
Everyone has a favorite class. What's yours?
It would be computer. We have computer.
Good.
That's cool.
That's great to know that, that'll help you in the future. Is there a class that you kind of dread? I used to hate social studies. What's the class that's kind of a challenge for you?
Well, I'd say it's language.
Okay, all right. Keep doing well in school. That's important. Thanks for joining us. Good game. Take care.
And you guys played a very good game. You almost took it the first game. So just unfortunately you didn't make it this far. But I would like you to introduce your players now for the County Cup. Okay, Ivan. Ivan. Paulo. Chris. Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny!
Brian. Travis. Danny. Joey. Mark.
Jonathan. Devin. Ruben. And Johnny.
Ваня, Ваня, не надо.
Yeah, there's some more that I need. Yeah. Oh, there was altogether 18. Florencio. Come on, Florencio, look out. Come on. Albina. Albina. There's see how many did you get? How many for the kids? There's 18 kids playing in the tournament.
Karen, we had a great team, and next year will be better. Introduce them.
First, I'd like to introduce my assistant coach, Carlos Patanzo. Good job. Good game.
Good game. Thank you.
Second, Ryan Ferguson. Game foul. There you go. Over here, stand over here. What's your other coach here? Henrik Borgstrom. The wall. Again. Andrew Madalena. Okay, Bob. Go, coach. Go. Tyler Seckman. Okay, Bob. Josh Selleck. Good game. Got. Good game, pal. Scott Lacaz. Matt Sullivan. Alfonso Polino. Ryan Groomer. Peter Holland. Hat trick for today. Peter, good game. Carlos Patanzo. Good game. Carlos. Blake Walker. And our goalkeeper, John Mandel.
Yes. Thank you, sir. And our coach, Alex Johnson. Thank you.
And now I'd like to bring up our team mom, Ava Borgstrom.
Not a real team mom.
She did a lot of the legwork for us this year. Thank you. You guys did a great job. You guys did it!
All right, you just witnessed the awards presentation. The La Jolla team, of course, the Sluggos having to feel real great about their season. Let's continue the interviews here. We'll start with your name and what position. You actually don't have to tell us your position with the way you're dressed, but go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm John Mandel, and I'm goalie.
Okay. But you didn't have to say that, John. Just kidding. Okay, talk to me, John, about a play or a save in today's game that you felt you had to make a big play.
I don't know, but I don't know of anything.
Okay. What about, let's talk about, aside from today's game, is there a game this year that sticks out in your mind where you had to really go out of your way to make a diving save or come up with a great save by way of foot? Can you think of a game that stands out in your mind where you made your best play?
Well, it was earlier today, and we were playing the Blitz, and they had a direct shot, and I saved the shot.
Exactly. You guys have played great all day long. Talk to me about other sports for you when soccer's over.
Well, I'm playing basketball and baseball.
Let's talk briefly about basketball, because that's coming up next. What position do you enjoy playing? You like playing guard, moving the ball up, or actually with your size, it wouldn't surprise me if you're like a center or forward, am I right?
A center.
What's your strong point, rebounding or shooting? What's best for you?
Rebounding.
Okay, great. Yeah, you can help your team a lot, boxing out under the boards. Okay, what about when you're not playing soccer, you're not playing basketball? What are some of the other hobbies that you enjoy doing just for fun at home?
I don't know. Well, I play baseball, too.
Okay, so it's mainly just sports for you. That's your fun type of thing, and then, of course, you probably have your schoolwork. And speaking of school, how are you doing in school?
Great.
Okay, what are your favorite subjects out of all of them?
Math and PE.
Okay, great. Okay, is there a class that gives you more of a challenge, or you feel you have to work a little bit harder in to do well?
No.
Okay, so you're doing okay. Okay, give us some closing thoughts, John, on playing with such a group of fine players. How do you feel about this team?
Well, I like this team. I've played with it for a real long time, and I've known some of the kids for a real long time.
Good.
Played with them on their teams before.
Great, okay. Thanks for joining us, John. Good game, buddy. Take it easy. All right, your name and what position you play today?
My name is Peter Holland, and I play left forward and center forward.
Okay, Peter, played a phenomenal game. You actually, your 3 goals that you had were all unassisted. Talk to me about your favorite one of all of them.
Well, I just like having the breakaway and then shooting and having the score in, and my teammates coming to cheer me.
Oh, yeah. Was this the first time in a game of this caliber where you came up with 3 goals, or have you done that before? Have you ever had a hat trick?
Yes.
Okay. This year during the regular season, did you do it? Talk to us about the most creative goal you had of all those 3 in the other game in the regular season.
Well, we just passed a lot, and then one of us would shoot, and we do it the next time and keep scoring. Okay. And it was really fun.
Sounds like it comes pretty natural to you to score. That's great. Okay, you're a good athlete, so I'm sure you must play other sports too, Pete. What else are you going to do after soccer's over?
Well, I used to play basketball, but I didn't play this season, so I'm going to play baseball.
Great, okay. Have you given any thought yet as to what position you might play for the baseball season?
Not really.
Okay. It's a little bit early yet. Usually they get you out there and they'll find a position that you can help the team best in. Talk to me when you watch athletes on TV. Is there an athlete that you idolize, you try to be like?
Not really.
Okay. Do you have any favorite athletes at all?
Bo Jackson and Lawrence Taylor.
Okay. Who's Bo Jackson? Just kidding. Okay, what about hobbies for you when you're not playing sports, Pete?
Just practicing at home with my dad and drawing or something like that.
What's the most awesome thing that you've ever drawn? Some people like to draw people. Some people like to draw nature or trees. I mean, what are some of the things that you enjoy drawing?
Just about everything. Making planes and everything.
Okay. Are you the type of artist that if you look at something, you'll try to draw it, or if the teacher says draw this, you try to draw that? How does it work for you?
I usually draw free-mindedly.
Great, good. Okay, so you have a creative side and an athletic side, and how you make it out in school?
Pretty good.
Okay. Favorite class for you?
Math and science.
Great. Any science projects yet this year?
No.
Do they have one coming up shortly that you know about?
Not really, but we've got exams coming up next week, so.
Well, it sounds like you'll be prepared. Thanks for joining us, Pete. Great game. Fun watching you play. All right, Guy, we'll get your name, what position you play at.
My name is Matthew Sullivan. I play defender.
Okay. Tell me, Matthew, first of all, we're asking all your teammates to share with us the favorite part of this game for you. What happened in today's game you feel good about?
Oh, it was probably when I stopped somebody from breaking away to the goal.
Okay. We called your name out a lot. I mean, on the defensive end, you're always getting the job done. I mean, in the game before this one as well. Talk to me. Everyone has a favorite game on the season where you go home and say, hey, Mom, Dad, I played a good game. I feel real good about it. What was the game for you?
It's probably last week I got to knock down 2 people, one defender, and take away the ball from them. So that was pretty fun.
Great, yeah, because you are a physical player. Now, do you use your strength and athletic ability to benefit you in other sports too?
Yeah, in baseball and basketball.
Okay. Baseball, you're probably a power hitter, right?
Right.
Okay, what position do you play?
Second base, shortstop.
Good, okay. And what was the other sport you said?
Basketball.
Okay. Basketball's coming up next. What position are you going to play in basketball?
No.
You play forward or guard or center, do you think?
I usually play guard.
Okay, good. Bring the ball up and in control. Now, since you play so many sports, do you have athletes that you look up to when you watch the professionals on TV? Who do you like?
Joe Montana.
Okay, yeah, he's a great one. He definitely is. Okay, what about fun things when you're not playing sports? You just want to have quiet time at home and do things you enjoy, like collecting things, or what do you like to do?
I like to ride my bike.
Do you like to ride it for speed or do tricks on it? What do you do?
I like to ride for speed.
Yeah? Okay. All right, and how are you doing in school?
Good.
Okay. Asking all your teammates that, because that's important. Do well in school and keep playing ball. Thanks for joining us. All right.
Okay, hold on. We got something. One more. Getting a picture or what? That's videotape. They look like statues.
Yeah, statues.
Okay.
One more,
One more. Over there. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Okay? All right, guys.
All right, as we keep it rolling with the interviews, we'll get your name and what position you played.
My name's Carlos Betanzo, and I play right forward.
Okay. Now, talk to me. Is there a play in this game that you feel good about?
Well, I scored a goal, and I thought it was pretty good.
Heck yeah, it felt great. Now, everyone has a favorite game on the year, but let me ask you this first. I mean, you got hurt out there, didn't you? What happened on that play?
Well, I think 2 guys charged me, and then I think somebody hit me in the back maybe with a knee or with the elbow or with cleats. I don't really know.
So it just hurt for a little while, but then when you were standing up and watching your team on the sideline, did you tell the coach that you could still play and you wanted to go in, or how did that work? He just knew you were okay?
I said that I couldn't walk really good, and I said that if I could stay out for a little bit, and then I came in for a little while.
Good. Okay, that's good. That was a spunky play on your part. Now, talk to me, Carlos, about your favorite game on the whole year. Is there one game this year that was your best?
Well, I played a lot of games. I don't remember. Well, this was a pretty good game.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm sure you had a lot of good games, and because you're definitely a very, very good athlete.
Well, I played for 4 years, something like that.
That doesn't surprise me, because you're real talented now. What about, is soccer your only sport, or do you play other sports too?
Yeah, I played last year baseball, and it was my first year. And I played just soccer is my favorite game. Well, I'll play some other games like in home or at school.
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of you guys have a lot of different interests. What are some of the fun things that you do as a hobby at home? You know, do you read or collect things, or what are some of the fun things you do?
Well, I like to read, and I like to play computer.
Okay.
And
what are your favorite things to read? Some people like to read like comedies. Some people like to read adventures or mysteries. What do you enjoy reading?
Well, I like adventures sometimes.
Okay. And how's school going for you?
Fine.
Everyone has a favorite subject. What's yours? You know, I remember that I used to like spelling, but I didn't like social studies. But what are your favorites, and which one don't you like?
I don't like language arts sometimes, and I like math.
Okay, good.
Or social studies sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Good. You got to keep doing well in school. That's important. Okay, how does it feel playing on such a good team?
Well, yeah.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us, Carlos. Good game, buddy. Take it easy. All right. We'll get your name and what position you played.
I'm Blake Walker, and I play right wing and right halfback.
Okay. If you had your choice out of just one of those positions, if the coach said, I want you to just play one, what would you choose? What would be your favorite?
Well, it kind of depends how the game is going, but I like playing halfback.
All right. So you would probably like to be where you know you're going to help your team best, right? Okay. A favorite play on the game for you?
I don't have one.
Okay. What about on the year? Everyone has usually a favorite game that sticks out in their mind because they might have played better in that game, or maybe the team had a great game. What was the game on the season for you? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was against La Jolla Kiwanis, and there's a penalty in the box, and in their box.
Okay.
And they just kicked it to me, and I just kicked it in.
Beautiful. Great. So you scored a goal. That's excellent. Feels great when you score goals. Okay, what about some other sports for you? Asking all your teammates what else you do, because you're all well-rounded athletes.
I play baseball.
Okay. Now, how many years have you been playing baseball?
About four or five.
So you already know then what position you're going to play when you get out there again?
Probably pitcher or shortstop.
Okay. Let me ask you this now. What type of pitches do you throw? Just mainly the fastball? Is it a little bit too early to start throwing a curve yet? Do your parents want you to wait on that until you fully grow, or how does that work with being a pitcher at your age?
Well, the league doesn't let you throw curveballs yet, but you can throw change-ups and fastballs and stuff. And I just made up my own names for the pitches.
Okay. No, I think that's a great idea because you really don't want to be throwing a curveball at such a young age. It might hurt your arm. But okay, what about some fun things for you when you're not playing sports? What do you enjoy doing?
Well, I like building airplanes with my dad.
Okay.
And reading.
All right. Any particular type of airplane that you try to just zero in on, or just any type of plane? Talk to me about your most creative airplane.
Well, I just started, and so I'm building an A-10 Warthog right now, and then an F-16.
Great. Okay.
C, I think.
Now, do you build them just to put them on display, or do you build them to fly them, like that? Those remote control airplanes. How do you? What's your goal with the airplanes?
To put them on display. They're too delicate to fly around.
Okay. All right. And how are you doing in school?
Fine.
What's your favorite subject?
Math.
How far along are you in math? You passed divisions and multiplications, or is that where you're at right now?
We're at division.
How do you handle that? Pretty good?
Well, I'm just kind of learning it.
Okay. Yeah, it can be kind of tough sometimes, but if you concentrate, you'll do well on it. But okay. Thanks for joining us. All right. And good season. All right. All right, we'll get your name and what position you played.
My name is Andrew Madalena, and I play left wing and I play left midfield.
Okay. Always hustling out there on both ends of the ball. Talk to me, Andrew, about your favorite play today.
Well, when I kicked it to Peter and he scored the goal.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, that felt great to get to be part of the assist there. Okay, one game on the season that stands out in your mind has been your favorite, and why?
The tournament, one of the tournaments at the last, and then we went into the county cup, the tournament, and that was fun.
Okay.
And I scored 3 goals.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow. Talk to me about your favorite one out of all the 3.
Well, when I headed it into the goal, headed it into the goal, so that's pretty good.
Excellent. That is great. Okay. Other sports for you?
Basketball.
All right. That'll be starting soon. Now, you appear to me like to be a guard that probably controls up front and sets up the plays. Is that your favorite?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a scorer as well, or are you mainly a passer?
I'm a scorer. Well, yeah.
All right. Do you know yet what team you're going to play on, or you have to wait?
Yeah, we're playing, and today was a game, but I wanted to play here for soccer.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you helped your team out a lot. This is important because you have the whole basketball season ahead of you. So it was a good decision on your part, and I'm sure your teammates appreciate that decision. Okay, what about hobbies for you? Fun things. Everyone does something at home that they like when they're not playing sports. What do you do?
Watch TV and play video games and read and learn about history. Mom tells me.
Good.
Yeah.
Sounds like a little education at home. That's great. Let's talk briefly about TV. Do you have like a favorite show? When you watch TV, do you like watching cartoons or movies, or what are some of the fun things you like watching on TV?
I like watching Growing Pains and well, those kind of shows. Yeah.
Okay. And how's school going for you?
Good.
All right. Favorite class that you have?
Math.
And what about everyone has a class that they dread, you know what I mean? I mean, some people do. Some like every class. What's a class that is kind of a tough one for you?
Science is pretty hard for me. Yeah.
Have they had you doing any science projects yet, or is that still to come?
We're doing one now. I think it's about pollution and all that, about to help America be a better place.
Okay. How are they having you do that? Are they giving you materials to do some type of a project with your hands, or they're just talking to you about and educating you about pollution?
Do like an oral report, and then we take a photo of what we're pollution and do other things like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, keep doing well in school and keep playing ball. You're fun to watch. Good game. All right, guy. You're welcome. All right. We'll get your name and what position you played.
My name's Tyler Steckman. I play left defender.
Okay. Tyler, asking all your teammates the favorite play on the game for you today. Everyone has a play that they feel good about. What was your favorite play today?
Well, I don't have one really.
Okay. I mean, there are some games like that when you don't feel like it was maybe your best game. But is there a game this year that stands out in your mind? I'm sure there's one.
Yeah, when I was like in the middle of the field and like kicked the ball and it went in the goal when I got a goal.
Wow. From at the halfway line?
Yeah, just about.
Wow. That's beautiful. It takes a strong leg to be able to kick it from that far out. Okay. What about other sports? What's next for you after this soccer season? What else are you going to play?
Baseball.
Okay. Have you given some thought yet as to what position you're going to play? You look to me like you're probably an infielder. Am I right?
Yeah, about that. Well, probably like a second baseman or something.
Okay, yeah. I could see you turning that double play. Do you like to hit?
Yeah.
Okay. You try to just go for base hits, make contact?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. What are fun things for you? Everyone, when they're not playing sports, has a hobby like collecting things or reading or art, listening to music. What do you like doing?
Collecting baseball cards.
What's the most favorite card that you have right now?
The Mickey Mantle card.
Okay. Is there a card that you don't have you think you'd like to get in the near future?
No.
Not sure? Okay.
No.
You'll see when you get there, right? Okay. Is school going okay for you?
Yeah.
All right. Favorite class for you?
Science.
All right. Asking everyone that says science if you've had a project yet.
No.
Do you know offhand if you have one coming up soon?
I don't know. Maybe. I think we do have one coming up soon.
Okay. Well, if you like the class, I'm sure you'll be prepared for it. But hey, thanks for joining us, and good year now. All right. Okay. All right. We'll get your name. What position you played?
My name's Henrik, and I play defender.
Okay. Henrik, played a good game. We called your name out a lot on the defensive end. Is there a play in this game that sticks out in your mind that was being maybe your favorite defensive play?
No.
Okay. What about on the season as a whole? Everyone's got a favorite game. Is there one that stands out in your mind?
Yeah, there was this game when Carlos, he was up way far up, and I was playing defender, and I kicked the ball up to him, and he got a goal.
See, that doesn't surprise me because you have good size, one of the biggest players out there, and you have a strong leg, so you can help your team tremendously. Now, do you use your good size and strength for other sports too?
When I play like baseballs, yeah, sort of. When I play first base, it's like blocking with my foot.
Right. With your height, playing first base, you can get that long stretch too, which helps you out. Any other sports besides soccer and baseball? Are those basically it?
Basketball too.
Okay. You got to be a center or forward with your height. Am I right?
I'm a center.
Great. What is your strong point? Scoring or rebounding?
Scoring.
Okay. That's great. Okay. What about fun things for you, like hobbies when you're not playing sports? You want to just relax and do something at home? What do you like to read?
I like reading like mystery books and Narnia books.
What do you read? Are you reading anything right now? I know you're busy with school, but do you have time to maybe read something right now? What are you reading now, if you are?
Well, I'm not really reading it. I'm just going from books to books because.
Good. That's great to be able to do that. All right. Talk to us about what it's like playing with such a bunch of talented teammates. You feel real good about all your teammates?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any closing thoughts on the whole season?
No.
Just felt good playing, didn't it? Okay. Thanks for joining us. Good game today. Good season. All right. We'll get your name and what position you played.
Josh, and I play, well, sometimes defender and midfield.
Okay. If you had your choice between one of those two, I mean, if the coach said, hey, I want you have your choice. I mean, which one would you choose?
Probably midfield.
Okay. All right. Any plays today that you felt good about?
Yeah, earlier in the morning, our first game, when I got the ball and I dribbled it down to the goal, but I didn't score, but I almost got it down. I was from like the center line.
We remember that. That was exciting. Anytime you can dribble up, between the opponents and make a good play, it feels great. What are you going to do after soccer's over? You must play some other sports like a lot of your teammates.
Probably baseball.
Okay. You're a little guy like I always was. I used to play second base. What do you play?
Well, I want to play pitcher and third base because last year I was in Pinto, and now I'm going to go into Mustang. So I want to be a pitcher and third base.
So you like that hot corner at third base. You must have a pretty good arm to be able to get that throw way the heck over there. Is that your favorite? I mean, when it comes to third base, you like fielding or making that throw? What's your favorite part about that position?
Well, you get a lot of balls, and you get to, in pitcher, you get to throw it a lot.
Exactly. What about at the plate? What's your strategy? Some people like to just go for that big hit every time. Some people like to go for the base hits. Some people like to bunt all the time. What do you like to do?
I like to hit it hard, sort of.
Okay, all right. And hobbies for you when you're not playing sports? What are some of your fun things?
Well, playing like a Monopoly and collecting baseball cards.
Great, okay. Board games. What are your favorite cards you have right now?
Let's see, Bo Jackson and Del Strawberry.
Okay. I was asking one of your other teammates, it seems like when you collect cards, there's always that card that you don't have yet. Is there one that you think you'd like to get maybe in the near future? What is that?
Like Babe Ruth's rookie or something. And maybe Mickey Mantle's rookie too.
Yes, those would be great ones to get. I think they're probably hard to get. Okay, and how's school going for you? How you doing?
Good.
All right, what class is your favorite?
Oh, math and recess.
Yeah. Oh, I used to love recess, definitely. Is there a class that gives you problems?
Well, sort of art, because I don't really like my art teacher, but...
Okay, yeah, you're right. I mean, the teacher can make a difference on how you like the class. When it comes to art, although you're not crazy about your teacher, what's the favorite things that you do? Some people don't particularly like to draw, but they like to do other things. What's your favorite thing in art?
Oh, drawing.
Okay.
And painting, sort of.
Okay. What's the most creative thing you've ever drawn or painted?
Well, probably just, like make marks, and you have to sort of like guess what it is and stuff.
Yeah, that's neat. Okay, good. So you have a creative side and an athletic side, like a lot of your teammates. Thanks for joining us, Josh. Good game, buddy. All right. Thanks for being patient with us. We'll get your name and what position you played.
I play midfield, and then I move up to center forward.
Okay. Tell us your name.
Ryan Broomberg.
Okay. We know that, but we want you all to introduce yourself. Ryan played a great game on the defensive end. Anytime they would come surging down, you'd come up with a nice defensive play. Talk to me about your favorite play on the whole afternoon.
When at the end, when I kicked it up to the forwards.
Okay. Let me ask you this. When they start surging on the offensive end as a defender, does that get you a little bit nervous sometime when you see them coming down and almost scoring? Because they scored that one goal at the end, and it seemed like it gave them momentum to score again. Did you get a little bit nervous? What goes on through your mind?
Well, I just move up to them, and I try to kick it, but then sometimes I get nervous, so I miss it.
Exactly, because it can be nerving back there as a defender because you have to get the job done all the time, and you guys do. You guys are a great team to watch play. Now, talk to me. Is there a game on the season I've been asking all your teammates that sticks out in your mind as being your favorite game? You have one?
Well, not really.
Not really? Okay. You probably played well in all of them. Talk to me about other sports that you're going to play after soccer.
Baseball and I'm playing basketball though.
Okay. So you play baseball on a team, but basketball, do you play competitively or just for fun with basketball?
I play on a team in basketball and baseball on a team.
Okay. Out of all the three sports, which is your favorite?
Soccer.
All right. Do you have athletes that you watch on TV that you really idolize or really enjoy watching?
Baseball.
Who's your favorite baseball athlete?
I don't know.
Do you have a favorite team?
No.
All right. Yeah, I never did either. I would just kind of watch players and just try to learn from them. But what about fun things for you, Ryan, when you're not playing sports? What are some of your hobbies that you enjoy doing?
Riding my bike.
Okay. When you ride your bike, do you try to ride for speed or do tricks on your bike? What's the most fun thing you do on your bike?
Well, I do tricks sometimes, like jump on the sidewalk.
Yeah? All right, is that your most creative trick, is doing the jumps? Okay.
Yeah.
What about other things? When you're not doing your bike and you're not playing sports, what are some other hobbies, like maybe collecting things at home or reading or playing games at home? What do you like to do?
Draw. I draw so much.
Okay. Talk to me about your favorite drawing.
I don't have a favorite draft.
But usually when people like to draw, they have like maybe one certain thing that they like to draw. Some people like, for me, I used to like to draw trees. I don't know why, but it was just something I like to draw. What are some of the things that you specifically like to draw?
Face.
Just people, all different types of faces? Okay, and how you doing in school?
Good.
Okay. Everyone has a favorite subject that they really enjoy, and then they have a class that they don't like. What are your favorites and what are your dislikes?
Math and art.
Okay. All right. Okay, thanks for joining us, Ryan. Good season. You take care. All right, joining us now is Alex Johnson, the coach for the Sluggos. Want to ask you this first. All the players under 10 years of age, I'm real impressed by their team chemistry and how fundamentally sound they are already. How many days a week, Alex, do they practice?
We have one practice a week and one game a week. And my assistant coach, Carlos, and I, we teach smart soccer. Just have fun. Okay. You know, you don't have to be crazy out there. Just have fun. That's the name of the game.
Is this pretty much, Alex, their first year playing with one another? It seems to me when you watch them like they've been playing with each other for a couple of years, but is this basically their first year as a group playing together?
Yes, this is their first year as Sluggos, and hopefully we'll move up in ranks. And the way I run my division is I have a draft, and this is what came out of the draft.
Okay, all right. Any type of, actually, when you come into these County Cup soccer games, a lot of the time you're not familiar with the opponent. So do you just try to have like a basic game plan? What is your strategy coming in?
Our main strategy is the Johnson philosophy is shoot, score, and win, and have fun doing it.
Exactly. I tell you what, and being a coach that basically emphasizes the offensive end, you have to feel great about the way that your team has played today on the defensive end the whole day. This morning's game and this afternoon's game. How does that sit with you?
Oh, it's fantastic. Our goalkeeper, John Mandel, he only allowed 7 goals all year. Our defense was a wall. They had to really work to get around it, and you know, that's what we teach.
Exactly. And what's next for you now? Is soccer the only sport that you coach? You're going to get into coaching on the other sports as well? What's going to happen next for you?
I continue to do soccer with La Jolla Soccer League, and right now I'm actually missing a basketball game as we speak.
Okay. Well, I'll let you go, and thanks for taking a minute to join us, Alex. Take care and congratulations.
Okay.
All righty, you're welcome. All right, joining us now is Carlos Batanzo Sr., and he's the assistant coach to Alex. Talk to me. Let me ask you first, what is your role as the assistant coach on this team?
I help out in Alex in any which way I can. I try to look for what every kid has, and probably my main advantage is that I lived in Mexico for the past 40-some years, so we play a lot of soccer there.
Okay, that's what I was at. You actually took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say I detected an accent, so I would assume that soccer's been a big sport for you your whole life long, you know. But talk to me, is there any one part of the game that is intriguing to you that you feel better about, like maybe on the offensive end, scoring or working with the kids on certain fundamentals? What's probably the biggest part of the game for you?
For me, the biggest part of the game would be the midfield. If we get the midfield going and we can put the ball up there and so that the great scorers, which are probably not the best dribblers, can do something, then we got a game. And our defenders also have to be very sturdy and have to keep them out of our goal.
Okay. I want to ask you this because your son Carlos is a good athlete, but being from a soccer family background, but now you're here in America, are you going to try to get him interested in other sports as well since he's a good athlete? I mean, he said he is, but I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Do you want him to play other sports?
I believe he's a great athlete, yes. And he played baseball last year for the first time, and at the end of the season, he was up to 4th bat, so he was doing great. And it was the first time he's never seen a baseball before. He didn't know what he was doing. He loves sports, and I'll cheer him any which way he wants to go.
Good. How do you handle it as a coach and a dad when, let's say, for example, you're in a game and Carlos Jr. loses the game? I mean, how do you handle it? Is it a type of thing where you say, hey, it doesn't matter, we're just here to learn? I mean, what is your mindset with that?
I try to act then as a parent, as to what any parent would do. And if you notice, Carlos got hurt in a game today, and I stayed out of the court because if I would have gone in, I would have been a dad. You know, exactly. I try to separate both things. And when we lose a game, we lose a game, and I'm just a regular dad.
Good. How does it feel being involved with this team? Was it one of the fun coaching seasons for you?
It's one of the best parts of me coming to the States, actually. It's we came here on a different actually I took sabbatical last year and we decided to stay longer this year, but I look forward for Saturdays. I mean, this is my moment. I really enjoy it, really enjoy it.
You guys all have a good attitude. I mean, and the players have good attitudes, and that's a reflection on you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Take care, Carlos.
You're also a pro.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, that wraps things up here at Coronado. It was a great game. We enjoyed bringing it to you. The Sluggos, of course, victorious with a big victory, 4-1 over the Eagles. I'm Mike Benson for George Langevin Productions. Thoroughly enjoy bringing you all the action. Until next time, take care. Yeah.
Their coaching is done as a practice.
Yeah,
the coach doesn't even get up to make the substitute. He sends the runner with the two paddles. This paddle, who's coming out, this paddle, who's coming in.